Today I will try to tell you why lithium is the best component for batteries. To do this, I will have to clarify some important concepts including electrochemical cell, battery properties, chemical and physical properties of lithium, standard electrode potential, lithium-ion battery, how it works, battery demand forecast, lithium resources on Earth, and lithium production. It wouldn't be a mistake to call the world around us the world of electricity. One can hardly imagine modern life without a huge variety of devices that are powered by electricity.
We are used to our devices working reliably even if there is no access to the electric grid, and this is made possible by the electric batteries. Any battery we use consists of one or more electrochemical cells.
In the charging mode, on the other hand, the electrochemical reactions occur in reverse order. To protect a cell from short circuits, a special layer called a separator is used.
When electrons move from the anode to the cathode through a closed external circuit, an electric current is generated which can be put to good use, for example, when lighting a bulb, heating a coil, or starting an engine. All modern batteries are divided into two large groups. The first group includes primary or non-rechargeable batteries. The second group includes secondary or rechargeable batteries.
For a long time, lead-acid batteries were the market leader, but in recent years, lithium-ion batteries have been in great demand and are already overtaking all competing battery types.
Today, lithium-ion batteries are very often used in the renewable energy storage sector. In the most developed regions of the world, their share exceeds 90%. In portable devices, their share is close to 50%, and in the automotive industry, it amounts to more than 40%. By 2030, lithium-ion batteries are expected to dominate most consumer market segments.
Since batteries are used in a number of different devices, the requirements are vast and varied. First of all, we all want stable and long performance from any battery.
Several indicators are used to quantify battery performance, including energy density, self-discharge rate, and lifespan. For portable devices and vehicles, another necessary characteristic is lightweight.
A further important quality in rechargeable batteries is to be recharged as quickly as possible and to have a high number of charge and discharge cycles with little or no maintenance required.
After all, we would like batteries we use to be safe and low cost. In addition to this, professionals use many more indicators, including nominal voltage, charge voltage, thermal stability, memory effect, and others. The consumer characteristics of batteries are primarily determined by the chemical composition of their components. By deliberate selection of different substances and optimization of the electrochemical cell design, researchers have created a large number of electric batteries that meet a variety of operational requirements. Apart from lithium-ion, rechargeable batteries often include lead-acid, nickel-cadmium, nickel metal hydride, and vanadium redox flow battery. Looking at the individual comparison diagrams of typical and average characteristics of these batteries, it appears that the lithium-ion battery is not the absolute leader among them.
Thus, the usefulness of certain types of batteries is determined not only by their performance extremes, but also by their intended use, cost and safety, etc.
However, let's continue our comparisons. The most important indicator for batteries is energy density. This is the specific energy level of a battery relative to its mass or volume. By this indicator, lithium-ion batteries are significantly ahead of other types of batteries.
Finally, let's have a closer look at the main topic of this video, the question why lithium is the best component for batteries.
To this end, we first need to examine the periodic table of elements. As you can see, lithium is found in the first group of the second period. This means that only one electron is located in the outer shell of the lithium atom. Therefore, lithium can easily react with elements that lack one or two electrons in the same outer shell to form new, more stable chemical compounds.
Let's take a look at the standard electrode potentials and densities of the chemical elements.
This is a list of some important chemical elements. Hydrogen is chosen as a universal element for comparison for which zero potential is assumed. All elements below hydrogen have negative values of standard electrode potential and those above have positive values. As can be seen from the diagram, lithium has two unique natural properties, the minimum density and the maximum negative value of standard electrode potential for the above elements. The concept of standard electrode potential itself is quite complex. Suffice it to say that it is a measure of the ability of elements or their chemical compounds to react in solution with loss or gain of electrons.
The electricity generated in an electrostatic cell will be determined by the difference in the electrode potentials of the electrodes. Now, let's look at how lithium-ion batteries work. The electrochemical cell of such batteries includes a set of standard components, 2 electrodes and 1 electrolyte. The chemical composition of such components can vary depending on the required properties.
Most often the negative electrode is made of graphite and the positive electrode, for example, from lithium cobalt oxide or lithium iron phosphate. Non-aqueous solutions of lithium salts in mixtures of organic carbonates are used as electrolytes. In discharge mode, a lithium-ion battery generates electricity by oxidizing pre-intercalated lithium ions into graphite and creating free electrons that are delivered to the positive electrode via an external circuit. There they combine with lithium ions that transfer to the positive electrode through the electrolyte. This process is thermodynamically advantageous as it leads to a reduction in the total internal energy of the system, so it will proceed by itself when the exterior circuit is closed. In a similar manner, when a stretched spring is released, it gets back to its initial state. When the battery is charged through an external voltage, lithium electrons in lithium cobalt oxide receive excess energy, are separated from the atom and are forced through a closed circuit to the anode. The lithium ions leave the crystal lattice of the positive electrode material and transfer to the graphite, therefore increasing the total internal energy of the system. Graphite is an excellent material for intercalation because it has a layered crystal structure and retains it without being destroyed by the introduction of a large number of external atoms, even with significant changes in the dimensions of the crystal lattice. Cathode materials are generally less suitable for these processes, which is a serious problem.
The design of the electrochemical cell with graphite successfully utilizes the main advantages of lithium: small ion size, high electrode potential, stable interaction with graphite, and low density.
In addition to the above advantages, such lithium-ion batteries allow multiple recharging, retain energy well with little self-discharge, and do not have a significant memory effect, that is, irreversible loss of battery capacity.
Currently, several types of lithium-ion batteries have been designed and new variants continue to be developed.
Lithium nickel manganese, cobalt oxide, and lithium iron phosphate have the largest share in the global lithium battery market. Each type of lithium battery has its own advantages and disadvantages. The first variant of lithium battery with lithium cobalt oxide cathodes is still in use. Also, there are high hopes for lithium titanate oxide batteries. Despite the fact that lithium-ion batteries are used in a wide variety of applications, the main driver of their consumption growth is electric vehicles. The lithium content in cell phone and laptop batteries amounts to a few grams. But in electric vehicle batteries it can be several kilograms. Currently, the widespread use of lithium-ion batteries is beginning to gain momentum not only for passenger cars but also for electric trucks. In 2022, about 8 million battery electric vehicles were sold globally, and by 2030, sales are expected to grow to 30 to 40 million units per year, according to various forecasts. The vast majority of electric vehicles are expected to use lithium-ion batteries. At the same time, the mass fraction of lithium in modern batteries is about 11%.
Is there enough lithium on Earth for such ambitious plans? Today, total resources of lithium are estimated 98 million tons.
Lithium deposits have been discovered in many countries around the world. Bolivia, Argentina, USA, Chile, Australia, and China have the largest deposits. About 130,000 tons are extracted per year. 5 years ago, this figure was half as much. Three countries, Australia, Chile, and China, account for more than 90% of lithium suppliers to global markets. Firstly, the availability of resources does not mean that their development is economically feasible. Therefore, if we look at the volume of lithium reserves whose extraction is economically and technologically feasible, we are suddenly dealing with a much smaller number, only 26 million tons. Secondly, lithium is used not only for battery production, but also in other applications, for example, in metallurgy, glass, lubricants, polymer production. Also, we should keep in mind that lithium mining cannot be realized without negative impact on nature, which is often accompanied by protests of environmental organizations.
Nevertheless, at least in the medium term, the lithium supply and demand balance scenario looks promising. This is due to several facts. Lithium is explored and mined on 5 continents, which indicates its widespread availability, reducing the risk of resource concentration in one region.
In addition, new deposits are constantly being added to the lithium resource base. For example, only this year, the discovery of huge lithium deposits in Iran, India, the USA and the Czech Republic were announced with total reserves exceeding several tens of millions of tons. Of course, to verify these statements, you need a detailed geological assessment and evaluation of the profitability of extracting. But this will not change the general trend of growth of lithium resources in the world. It is also important that modern technologies enable lithium to be extracted both from brine and from pegmatite or sedimentary rock.
Now, let's summarize our main takeaways on why lithium is better suited for batteries than other materials. Lithium is excellent material for batteries. Not all batteries, but for those that require specific performance properties, primarily high energy density. This is often true of batteries used in electric vehicles and mobile devices. Also, it is consumer market sectors that have greatest development potential. Therefore, lithium currently is the most suitable material for batteries.